The last two presentations have focused on expansionary and contractionary fiscal and monetary policy. We know that over the course of the economic cycle, we have our trend rate. So as time goes on, our GDP will slowly accumulate. We know that in the short run, we have our economic cycle. This has boom periods and it has bust periods, or peaks and troughs. We know that when we're in a boom, our bathtub is too full. We get no spare capacity, we have lots of scarcity, so we have high inflation in the economy. That's unsustainable long term. When we're in a bust period, we know that we've got the opposite problem. We've got lots of spare capacity, so the bath water is very, very low, which means we have very low economic growth, maybe even negative. We have deflation, prices starting to fall, and very high rates of unemployment. Fiscal and monetary policy can deal with these short-term problems. So when we're in a boom period, we need to bring the economy down, pull the bath plug out, lower the water level, reduce that scarcity problem, create some spare capacity. So we use contractionary monetary and fiscal policy, try and create some unemployment, lower economic growth to stop the economy from overheating. When we're in a bust, we use expansionary monetary and fiscal policy. The economy needs to pick up. We try and move it back towards the trend rate. So what you've got to remember is both fiscal and monetary policy are short-term policies. They're designed to influence AD. They're short-term because too much of them can create an unwanted problem. For example, if we contract the economy too much from a boom, we head towards a bust. So when we get to that green line, we would stop using contractionary policies. When we're in a bust, we know we use expansionary policies to get us out of it. If we influence AD too much, though, we can see that eventually we head towards a boom. So they're only used to deal with short-term fluctuations in the economic cycle. If we want to influence the long-term trend growth, so the green line above, what we have to use are what we call supply side policies. These are what makes that green trend rate upward sloping. Let's think about what we mean by this. We have two different ways we can show this. Let's think about it in the short run first of all. We have RAD, we have SRAS. We have the long run potential of the economy, so what the economy is potentially capable of, so Y star. If we can get SRAS to shift to the right, that is a supply side policy. This looks fantastic because what we have economic growth as output increases. Higher output means that more jobs are created. It also means that price levels start to fall, so it will tackle inflationary problems in the economy as well. Now, in the short run, so this is a short run diagram, we do this by lowering costs, so lower business costs. So say, for example, we reduce minimum wage rates. If we were to reduce tax on businesses, if raw material prices were to fall, these will change short-run aggregate supply straight away. They will influence supply in the economy straight away. The main cause of the long-run trend rate, though, what we call long-run supply-side policies. So what we'll show this time, so again, we show LRAS. We have AD, SRAS. We can see this time the economy is running very close to Y star, the maximum of the economy. We start to get very small amount of spare capacity, scarcity is starting to happen, prices will start to increase. Our bathtub is starting to get very, very full and looking dangerously so. So potentially we're heading towards a boom. Now if we can get LRAS to shift to the right, then what we can see has happened is our bathtub has increased. Our production possibility boundaries increased. The gap between where we're operating and where we can operate are now suddenly miles apart. So we've alleviated that problem of scarcity. So that would stop the boom from happening in the first place. The bath now won't overfill because we've made the side tight. We can now hold more water. The economy is capable of getting even bigger still. These policies involve either increasing factors of production or improving factors of production. Let's take some main examples of policies that we look at in this economy. Education. If we can educate our workers to be better at their job, they become more skilled at what they do. That means they're capable of producing more in the economy. If we were to look at healthcare, if people are fitter and healthier, they can work more productively, which means in the long run they're capable of doing more. If we invest in research and development, it means that our businesses have more capital. They have more machinery in which to do things. Again, it means they're capable of making more in the country. These are called long-run policies because they take a heck of a long time to have an influence on the economy. If you invest in education, you might not see the benefits for 10, 15 years. Research and development, well, who's say it will work? But if it does, it's not going to impact on businesses for many years. So these are long-run policies. Before we end this, I want to link in now these short-term policies. We know that fiscal policy is linked to government spending and taxation. If the government was to spend money on supply-side policies, fiscal policy can actually increase the LRAS, spending more on education, spending more on healthcare, spending more on transport are all examples of long-term supply-side policies.